Are we going? Are we going? Okay. Okay, let's not get excited. I've been having so many issues with OBS. If you guys can hear me or see me... Are we going? Okay, I can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Ignore the 30-minute warning. We are live now. Just took me 10 minutes to fix it. Oh! Happy Christmas! Happy Christmas, everyone! A few people saying it. If you don't celebrate Christmas, happy Yule. If you celebrate solstice, happy solstice. If you're just having a good old Tuesday, happy Tuesday. So, yeah, I guess we're starting now. Let me do my tweet just to tell people that we are live. We are live. Won't be alone this Christmas. Come and hang out with me. And tweet. Okay. So, hi everyone. So, I guess I'll do an explanation for why I'm doing this stream on today of all days, on Christmas. So basically, I used to do a sort of a stream every New Year's, and it was just sort of like okay, well, people aren't always going to be out on New Year's, and I was never out on New Year's, so let's just do a stream so we can all hang out together and we can celebrate New Year's together. Over the years, I started going out on New Year's, even though it's just to a friend's house. Me and her hang out on New Year's, but I'm still, like, not able to stream anymore. So, this year I decided, you know what, Christmas can be hard for people, especially people in the LGBT community, so I figured I would do a stream for an hour or two, and if it can help even just one person, that's great. And it doesn't matter if you're LGBT or not, I just want to help everyone. So that's what we're doing. So, yeah, it's just going to be like a regular AMA stream. Ignore the fact that I'm about to take 2 pills. It's just L-carnitine. This isn't a product placement, I just realized, oh, I was supposed to take those about 20 minutes ago. Whoops! Okay, we've got our first question, and it's a very good tweet. Very good question. Zara Cullen says, what do I think Dazzler's singing would sound like? Any singers you would compare? So, there's this singer called Anastasia, and she does this song called I'm Out of Love. I think that song and that voice is what Dazzler would sound like. You know, because Dazzler, she was made at the tail end of disco, so she's got to have that kind of like funk undertone. She can't be your Adele, your Britney, she can't be Beyonce, she's not Lady Gaga. She's got like a very, very funk voice. And in my mind. And so, yeah, this is just like how I'm picturing Dazzler, and that's what Anastasia is. And yeah, if we went back 10 years and we've got a Dazzler movie, I would totally be like, Anastasia has to play Dazzler. Haven't been reading new Runaways comics. Thoughts? Wait until my next video comes out. There's a lot to say. Have I ever been to a LARP? No, LARPing doesn't interest me in the slightest. I'm not really a role player. I don't know why people think I'm a role player. It doesn't... when you actively work as an actor, LARPing is like the last thing you want to do, I guess. Yeah. If I did a story for Young Justice, what would it be about? Ooh, that would be a difficult one. I'd have to see, like, where this new run goes and, like, the issues it's going to tackle. Yeah. Have I seen Runaway Season 2? So, over the past less than a week, it's been less than a week since Runaway Season 2 has come out. Let's stress less than a week. I have had, let me just see, I've been counting. I wasn't counting at first, and then I started about like 2 days into this. I have had 270 individual people ask if I've been watching Runaway Season 2. Guys, I did 5 videos on Season 1. I've been able to watch Season 2 since before you knew it was coming out. Yes, I've seen Runaway Season 2. I didn't watch it until it actually properly came out. But yes, I have seen Runaway Season 2, and yes, I do like it. What do I think a Season 3 of The Runaways will do? I want to save sort of my opinions on that for an upcoming video I've got. I will say, I do like how, this is just sort of like an opinion I'll touch on here just to like, because it's kind of spoiler free. I like how Season 2 of The Runaways, you can basically see the writers are like, oh, we fucked up on the team dynamic. They're sort of realizing Alex is not a leader. In the comics, he was briefly leader-ish, but not really. He was the strategist, so everyone followed him because he was the only one with a plan. But Nico was always the leader. From day one, Nico was like this mother hen kind of character that held everyone together. And yeah, she was like dealt with her own emotions, but she was definitely the glue that held the team together, especially like in the early days. And so when Alex went away and they had no strategist, by default she became the leader. And I think they realized in Season 1 they didn't do that properly. They made Alex just like the leader. He was the glue that kept everyone together. Like he was everything, and that wasn't right for the team's dynamic. So in Season 2, it really focuses on this is who Nico Minoru is, and this is why she's the leader. And Nico steals every single scene that she's in. Lyrica Okano is like a fantastic actress. Her and Aurelia Barella, I think the person that plays Gert, those two are like the standout stars of this show. Like, they are ridiculously talented. It's great. Guy that plays Chase I've got issues with still, but I'll get into that when I do like a proper review. What would you say has been your favourite event from the Big Two this year? None of them. I don't like events. I don't like event comics. Doom Patrol TV series? That looks like a hot boo-boo mess. Oh my god. Caitlin, that sea monster, she actually posted a few pictures of it on Facebook, and I was like, wow, thanks, I hate it. Wow, how can you take the Doom Patrol and do that to it? Especially, like, the Doom Patrol's most iconic run was so, like, inspired by Dadaism, and it's like, what the hell? How can you literally got an art style to base your series off of? How can you not? It's an entire art movement that this comic run was inspired by, and there's like no Dadaism. This is like an entire art movement that defined art as we know it to this day. Where's the Dada? I don't like it. Don't want it. I think it's going to be... I haven't seen trailers. I don't know if there are any trailers. But from, like, the images, it looks terrible. I don't watch trailers, guys. Don't ask me about trailers, because you'll just get me saying I don't watch them. But yeah, I think from the visuals I saw on Facebook, the Doom Patrol looks shit. Do you think that Connor Kent will come back in Rebirth? Daniel Nee, you are very behind. He comes back next month. Oh, guys, please don't post any spoilers for Season 2 of The Runaways in the chat, because a lot of people haven't seen it yet. It didn't come out worldwide, it only came out in the States. So I don't live in the States, but my friend let me use their Hulu account. So definitely, like, don't be posting any spoilers. I won't be answering your question if you post any spoilers, so yeah. Did you know Dazzler is a promotion between Marvel and Casablanca Records, and the two companies were gonna... Yes, I know this. I talked about this in my Dazzler video, which I actually actively encourage you not to watch. It's one of my least favorite videos. I think it was my second ever history of video. It was, yeah, it was like up there. It was in the first 5. And I hate it. But yeah, that's like Dazzler basic knowledge. You're like that meme that everyone's posting of that guy from the Polar Express with the kid with the glasses where he's leaning forward, like smiling, and it's like everyone's captioning it with some like basic geeky knowledge. Sorry, that sounds really mean. I didn't. It sounded funny in my head, and then as I was saying it, I was like, "This is really mean. Try and make it funny." And it kept going, and it was really mean. I didn't mean it like that. I'm really sorry. Do I think Marvel will use Dazzler? Marvel seem to really like the more experimental characters in the MCU, whereas Sony and Fox sort of strayed away from them. Although that's sort of changed with Enter the Spider-Verse. I thought that was like done really well. But I found out like Sony just basically let them do whatever they wanted. Because they thought the movie was going to flop. Turns out people love it. So yeah, I do think Marvel might be interested in using Dazzler. I know Comic Book Girl 19 is doing the... So there's a comic book called Dazzler the Movie. Actually, the full title is Marvel Graphic Novel number 6, Dazzler the Movie. Like, the entire title of the comic is an emotional roller coaster. And it's sort of like a... You know, it reads like it's a movie. It literally reads like it's Dazzler the movie. And I think that comic in itself proves that Dazzler is the perfect mutant for a movie. So I definitely recommend you all go and try and read that comic if you can. Because I think Dazzler will work fantastically for a movie. Yeah, people are talking about Alex being back in the Runaways comic. I'm uncomfortable by that because, you know, obviously, like, he tried killing them. So I don't know about you guys, but I forgive very rarely. And I probably wouldn't forgive someone that tried killing me. So Alex even being in the Runaways comic is, to me, is sort of like he can not be dead. Sure, bring him back from the dead, but like I don't want him with that group. Like, he's not their friend. He tried killing them. What is my favorite Zelda game? Ooh, that's a good question. Wind Waker holds a special place in my heart because it's obviously the longest Let's Play I did on my Let's Play channel when I was a bit more active on there. But I really, really liked Breath of the Wild. I liked the art style of Breath of the Wild. I liked the visual direction of it. So it's somewhere between Wind Waker and Breath of the Wild. I do 2D Zelda-wise. I love the Oracle games. Like, love the Oracle games. It's insane. Yeah. I like Zelda as a whole, though. Like, I always say the most interesting part of Zelda happens in between the games. That, like, part of the reason why Matt Pat's, Link is Dead and Majora's Mask video sort of irritated the Zelda community was because in the Hyrule Historia it actually establishes Link didn't die in Majora's Mask, and he actually comes back and takes part in a war, and that's why he's a Stalfos in Twilight Princess, because he died in war. He was never able to become a war hero, and he's literally passing his knowledge down to a future Link, so this Link can take part in this Twilight War, essentially, and become a war hero that he was never able to come. And so, yeah, don't get me wrong, I don't have any beef with game theory on a personal level. Like, I've never met Matt Pat, we've never spoken, but I think that video, ignores a lot of established Zelda lore just to make a bit of a clickbaity video, and I'm not a fan of anyone doing that. What did I think of the Sabrina Solstice episode? I actually thought it was a stronger episode of the series overall. People were convinced that I hated the first season, and I didn't. In my review, I said I liked it several times. It just had several glaring issues with it. But overall, it was a fun episode. It wasn't, anything special. It didn't revolutionize television, especially because it was on Netflix and not on TV. But yeah, it was a fun, cute episode of that same Sabrina series. Definitely stepping out of horror completely now. You can't say it's a horror at all. Yeah. If I could pick any relatively unknown character from Marvel or DC to get their own movie, who would it be and why? Relatively unknown. I would quite like the Great Lake Avengers to get their own movie, but it would have to be shot like mockumentary style, you know? So like, as if it's an actual reality show, as if it's like an episode of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but it's about the Great Lake Avengers. I think that could be so much fun, and like, really funny. Really, really funny. What did I think of Avengers Arena? That was like, I enjoy the story, but it's not an easy read. And I say that because, like, these are characters that are my age, essentially. Like, I'm 22 right now. I just turned 22 2 weeks ago. It feels weird. I don't want to be this age. But, I'm 22 right now, and it's like, at the time of that coming out, like, those characters were essentially my age, and, like, so that was a difficult read, and it's still a difficult read because I resonate with those characters still, because I live at home still, so I'm sort of like in this weird state of arrested development where I'm not quite an adult yet because I haven't moved out, but I'm not quite a teenager. It's a weird situation, So, I enjoy Avengers Arena, but I would like to revisit it once I'm able to get out of the state of arrested development, because I think I need to mature a bit to fully enjoy the comic for the story that the writer intended. Have there been any event comics you actually like? I liked event comics back in the day when it meant something to be an event comic. So I really, really liked Sins of Youth from DC. I really, really, really love Crisis on Infinite Earths. It's messy and it hasn't aged well, but I still love the story. It's obviously, like, Civil War is a great read. I think, back then it actually meant something to be an event still. House of M Day, I think, again, like, it was done really well. It was someone, like, that genuinely had an idea. It wasn't just, oh, what's this year's event gonna be, And so, especially because, like, event comics are pumped out so much now, by the time that the universe has recovered from an event, it's sort of like, and now we're suddenly in the next event, and it's like, we just recovered from the last one. At this point, just let the world burn. Because clearly it's never going to be safe, What are your thoughts on the new season of Young Justice? I still hate is how Young Justice in name only. Yeah, I still have problems with how it's Young Justice in name only. I actually have a video coming up called Sorry I'm Rewatching Young Justice, because at the time of rewatching Young Justice, I was in quite an abusive relationship. Like, when it first came out, I was in a a very abusive relationship with, that you could look back on and say, like, oh, that was fully illegal. So I want to, now that I'm not in a dark place in my life, I'm actually rewatching it, and I'm finding I'm not as harsh on it now, because back then I obviously needed something light to grab onto and something from my childhood to grab onto, and Young Justice was that. Like, I read the Young Justice comics as they were coming out. I was like a baby that just learned how to read when those comics started. And so, obviously, when this show came out, I was very excited because it was like something from a very important part of my life that as I'd aged, I was able to enjoy in different ways, and I was continuing to enjoy in different ways, but it was consistently very light. And then it came out, and it just wasn't Young Justice at all. I was very upset by that, and I'm still very upset by it, but rather than saying this isn't what was promised to me, therefore it's a bad show, now I'm able to go, this is actually an okay show, but it should not be called Young Justice. Because I think, the point of an adaptation in name is that you're supposed to at least capture the core of what the original series intended. And the Young Justice cartoon really just didn't do that. And I do think it deserves to be criticized for that. However, it's not fair to say it's overall a bad show for failing to do what it was supposed to do, because what's in there is good. It's just the wrong core for that title, if that makes any sense. As for the next season of Young Justice, I haven't looked at anything to do with it. But I'm excited for it to start, because after I'm most of the way through season 1 now, season 2 gets a bit darker, I know, but I'm sure I'll enjoy it, and especially because so many people were passionate about it returning, and that means they had to get people that were actually passionate to work on it. So, yeah, I'm excited. Am I cautious about Bendis being on Young Justice? I actually like Bendis. Kind of a controversial opinion. I like Bendis, and not just because he follows me on Twitter. Yeah, I like Bendis. I think he's willing to do things that other people aren't willing to do when he's left to his own devices and is sort of disconnected from everything else that's going on, which is what Young Justice is going to be. Even though it's set in the mainstream universe, it's very much largely disconnected. That's where Bendis shines, and I think everything is set up so Bendis can just do Bendis at his best here. So I'm not cautious whatsoever. I really like Bendis. I really like the artwork that's in it. I hope DC pays attention to my Superboy cosplay when I do that. Your thoughts about Roy Harper and Wally West being killed off panel? If a character's killed off panel, then they're not killed. There's a fact for you. Unless you see a body, a character is not dead. Or unless you see that human become a body. That feels weird to say. Unless you see that person die, they're not dead. There you go. Are you reading West Coast Avengers? I'm not. I'm not reading a lot of current things at the moment. I don't really like to stay up to date with current comics. There are very few exceptions to this rule. I just kind of get bummed out too easily to do it, so yeah. You talk about Dada and Surrealism, and you also like comics. Do you like painters? I do like painters. I like going to the Tate Modern Gallery and the National Art Gallery in London. They're both free to get into here, just to look at the paintings. I really love paintings. I really love surrealism. Like Salvador Dali is such, like, for someone that's into surrealism, to say Dali is your favorite like artist is like a white girl saying that she likes Starbucks. It's like so basic, but it's true. I just love Dali. I can't not. The way I discovered him was through an art teacher that saw like stuff that I was making when I was in an art class, and she introduced his work to me, and I fell in love. I fell in love, and that love has just never died. Yeah. I think like what's interesting, especially about Dali, is there are lots of studies about how people with autism see his work, which is sort of my case, and people without autism see his work, and it's very different. It's two very, very different experiences, and I'd love to. I don't know. I'd love to be able to like experience the other side of the coin, which obviously never will. Which I'm slightly envious of. But yeah, I genuinely love his work. Um, Happy Christmas to everyone that's just joining. What new projects are coming for 2019? Well, I'm glad you asked. In January, I am releasing a pilot for a new series called Superhero Cosplay Basics, where I am going to be making the costume of Superboy from the upcoming Young Justice run in comics. I'm going to be kickstarting the other two characters in it, so I want to raise $1,000. I think with $1,000 I'll be able to do all three very easily. Well, I don't think, I know. More money I raise, more better quality costumes, but if we break 1,500, then I'm going to start adding in more characters, because I think at 1,500 I can definitely add in more characters, but like, you know, like an extra $500 to like just finesse these other two, especially like Robin. Robin's very involved, and I'd like to use some like actual real leather on him. So yeah, that feels weird to say. I'd like to use real leather on Robin, but you guys know what I mean. Faust, any tips for the first boss in Wind Waker? Swing, my friend. Swing. Favorite Alan Moore comic? Ooh. Oh, Promethea. That's not even that's Promethea, dude. I'm currently watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventures for the first time. What are your thoughts on it? I've never watched it. It reminds me too much of Boba 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 Bo. Showing my age a bit there. There used to be this anime called Boba 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 Bo, and it was a parody of all Shonen Jump anime, and it was heavily inspired by JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. And yeah, I can't watch it. I can't watch JoJo's without thinking of Bobo. Yeah, so I can't. Have I read any comics with Spider-Girl, Mayday Parker? Ultimate Universe is quite a big gap in my knowledge, honestly, and I've never actually touched anything to do with Mayday Parker in my life. Lots of people say I should, lots of people say I like it, but Spider-Man in general, like, is where I show the most gaps in my knowledge. Spider-Man at Marvel and Green Lantern at DC. Those are where my big gaps are. I'd like to kind of fix that, but like Green Lantern, just I've tried it, I keep trying it, I enjoy it when I read it, but it never like pulls me back, which I find interesting because I genuinely have a good time, but I just never seem to get that go to finish a storyline. Maybe the characters just aren't sexy enough. Who knows? And then yeah, and then for Spider-Man, I don't know. It just, again, same problem. It just never pulls me back to finish a storyline. It's like, yeah. Uh, First of all, the long hair looks good on you. Thank you. Secondly, is there a chance you'll start making some anime content again? I would like to make some stuff on My Hero Academia. I'm just trying to figure out a format that would work for this channel. But, yeah, definitely, once I can. And will there be a recap of Season 3 of Killing Stalking? Absolutely yes. Just, you know, I need to wait for Season 3 to finish first. I keep getting comments that are like, why haven't you done Season 3 yet? It's like, Season 3 is still going. I can't cover a season till it's done. That's why. Yeah. What are your thoughts on the animated Justice League cartoon? It made Hawkgirl a personal fan favorite of mine. I love the Young Justice or the Justice League cartoon. I would wake up every Friday morning, because it aired Friday mornings for some reason here in the UK. It was like on in the afternoon as well, but there was like episodes on Friday morning, and I would wake up, and we weren't allowed to watch the TV in the morning because me and my brother just wouldn't get ready for school with the TV on, but I always made sure that I would watch Justice League, get ready for school, and no one was any the wiser. And eventually I got a computer in my bedroom, so I was able to watch all the episodes whenever I wanted. Yeah. Any games or anime that you are watching or playing? Game-wise, I'm really into Smash Brothers at the moment. I used to be competitive on the Brawl scene, and then I didn't really get into Wii U or 3DS, and then, like, I got into the consoles, obviously, just the Smash games on them I didn't. And then Ultimate came out, and I was like, this is everything I loved about Brawl with everything I love about Melee. Like, this one was perfect for me. It was like a perfect balance. I main Snake. Everyone's saying he's terrible, and then I beat people with him, and then I'm like, because fashion and bodysuits. So yeah. Opinion on All Stars 4. I'm enjoying it so far. Obviously, I've seen up to the leaked episode. Episode 3 was leaked. It's all on YouTube. Everywhere on YouTube. So, yeah, we've got a bit of a break this week. So, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Don't really have much else to say than that, but yeah, it's fun. Do I read anything from Class Comics? No. That's the answer to that. Just no. How's it going? It's going very well. How are you, Dawn? First, your fabulous gift upon this earth. Thank you. Have I thought of cosplaying Adam/Eve from Nier? I haven't. I'm really not familiar with the Nier series outside of Nier Automata, and even then it was just because I cosplayed 9S a lot. But I looked like Benedict Cumberbatch in my 9S cosplay, which is obviously not the goal. So I never posted pictures of it. There's one like tiny picture where I was in the background of someone's shot, so I was like, fine, I'll just post that in a collage. But yeah. Neil Gaiman becoming a showrunner. Your thoughts? I think Neil Gaiman is a fantastically talented person, and he's doing a great job as a showrunner. So that's all I can say about that. I really don't want to spoil his show, but Good Omens is great. Um, do I read any Dark Horse comics? I used to read The Guild when that came out from Dark Horse. Because Dark Horse is very indie, they don't really have an extended universe. It's just sort of like as and when a title interests me, but like I find myself buying Dark Horse quite frequently. Um, did Netflix see your review on Sabrina? They need you. So it's not Netflix that would hire me as a consultant, because Netflix really has nothing to do with the creation of Sabrina. They are just hosts for the show. It's entirely down to the production team behind it, who are the same people that make the Riverdale show. I heard through the grapevine that they saw my video, and I heard... I don't know if this is true. This is all allegedly. But I heard that they saw it, and I heard that they weren't okay with it. So that is what it is. I don't know if that's true. I hope it's not true, obviously, because I respect them for what they do. I just had that, like, major gripe with their show. And, like, that was a genuine offer. Like, I would be happy to help them. Because I want their show to be good. That wasn't I could do this better than you. It was I want your show to be good. Let me help. Like, this is stuff I know about. But, you know, if they had problems with it, and it is what it is, and they're going to continue to do what they have planned to do from day one. And that's fine. And I'll continue to watch, because, like I keep saying, I did actually like the first season. I just had a problem with it. Your thoughts on The Invisibles being adapted into a TV series? If Grant Morrison wasn't actively involved in it, I would say it would be a mess. But Grant Morrison is actively being involved, so I think this could breathe a second life into The Invisibles. I'm not a fan of comics being turned into TV series these days, though, because I feel like lots of writers are writing comics with the expectation that it will one day become a TV series, and I'm with the mindset that you should write a comic with it only ever, with the intention of it only ever existing in the comic. If it somehow manages to transcend the comic and make it to TV, that's a bonus. But it should never be your goal. And the same goes with TV shows or books or video games or anything. You should try and make this the best piece of art you can make it, because this might be all it will ever be. And so I have a bit of a problem with adaptation in the sense of oversaturation, and how that can affect the art medium as a whole. What other theme would you like to see in the Killing Stalking comic? Killing Stalking is honestly not a comic I think much about. I read it, I take in the story, and I move on. Yeah, it's not a deep story. Let's be real about that. Yes, it deals with borderline personality disorder, like, in a very explicit way, but Kogi, the guy that writes Killing Stalking, is like, oh, my fans actually pointed out it was BPD before I ever intended it was BPD. I just kind of went for a general mental illness. So it's like, it's a stretch to say it's a deep story when he was just writing something that was a bit fucked up and edgy for the sake of it being a bit fucked up and edgy. So I don't have many thoughts on Killing Stalking. It's just, it's a presence in my life, and I enjoy it being there, and that's that. I don't even find it particularly scary or gruesome, because I've seen worse. Like, it is scary and it is gruesome, obviously. Like, that's the intention. But I personally am not affected by it in that way. That's why I was able to just cover it. And one chapter made me want cake. Is this a guy? Conor McCartney. For the right price, I can be whatever you need me to be. Any plans for drawing streams? I have not done one of those in years. Maybe. Found my old tablet, but maybe not. I don't really have the space for my tablet right now. Maybe when I move out. But right now, no. Have I watched Hunter x Hunter? I have. I don't really resonate with it. If you want someone that really likes Hunter x Hunter, watch Super Eye Patch Wolf. So many people still asking about season 2 of The Runaways. Guys, I've watched it. I made 5 videos on season 1. Use logic there. Yes, I'm gonna be talking about season 2 of The Runaways. Thoughts of a Buffy and a Xena reboot? Leave Buffy in the past. Buffy just has not aged well. It hasn't. It hasn't. And Joss Whedon's one of those writers that was progressive for the 90s but hasn't updated his political stance or point of view since. And because of that, he's kind of like the opposite of progressive now. Same goes with J.K. Rowling. And so, yeah, I am not a fan of Buffy. Well, to be fair, I was never a fan of Buffy. I just didn't like it growing up. I just didn't. It was before my time, kind of. Like, I was born when it was airing. So, like, by the time I was old enough to sort of, like, understand it, it was done. So, yeah. Mr. Crispin says, hope you had a good solstice fast. Thank you. Yeah, solstice, if you guys don't know, my family actually don't properly celebrate Christmas. Like, it's a holiday we appropriate the day because no one in my house is a Christian. Basically, so solstice goes on till January. And December 25th is just the most convenient day for us to like celebrate a holiday. So we use December 25th to celebrate the solstice, even though it starts on the 21st. And it's every day until, I think, 2nd of January. Depends on who you ask. For us, it's the 2nd of January. Yeah. But yeah, had a good one this year. Who will be the first LGBTQ character in the MCU? We already have an active LGBT couple in the MCU. Nico and Carolina. In Runaways. Go watch My Lesbians. Any monthly favorites? Not really in the monthly comic cycle right now, but every month without fail I read Snot Girl. So I guess Snot Girl right now. What is the video game Dream Daddy about? Oh, it's about being a daddy that wants to find another daddy and they can be daddies together, and it's great. Is Zavin on the Runaways yet? I'm not going to be spoiling Runaways for you guys. Don't ask me to spoil Runaways. In fact, I'm just going to ignore questions about Runaways so far. I've already answered, like, if I'm going to be doing a season 2. I've got a video coming out about it in the next few days, if you're that curious. Have you seen the new Spider-Verse movie? If I have, what are your thoughts? I really enjoyed it. I really thought Spider-Verse was great. I didn't cry. I went into that fully expecting to cry, because I'm a crier, and I didn't cry. Lots of other people did, but I just didn't. But I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. Why is Sabrina not on the CW, just like Riverdale and Arrow and the other shows? Sabrina was supposed to be on the CW. That was when it was called Queendale. And apparently CW pulled out and Netflix revived the project. What's your favorite all-time favorite anime? Mine's Rurouni Kenshin. My favorite anime of all time is... It's a very difficult question. At the moment, it's My Hero Academia. But the one show I go back to the most is Ouran High School Host Club. I really love Ouran High School Host Club. Season 1 of Bleach, so like from episode 1 till they save Rukia, like that physically does something to me. So that's like up there as well. I don't know what it is with that show, but up until that point, that's like Bleach was it for me, and then it wasn't it. It wasn't it in a very harsh way. So, um, Miraculous Ladybug season 3 episode 1 thoughts. Haven't seen it. Don't watch Miraculous Ladybug until it's on Netflix because I want to support it in an official way. Are you completely done with the weekly poll? If they ask me to appear on an episode and I can, like it like works for me that week, yeah, absolutely I would do it. But like I'm not a member of the weekly poll anymore. I haven't been for 2 years now. Still love those guys, still respect them. We're friends on Facebook, you know. And it is what it is. It's like I literally don't have the energy to stay up till 1 in the morning to talk about comics for 2 to 3 hours, depending on how this podcast goes, and then go to bed and then get up at 9 in the morning the next day. I don't have it in me anymore. I genuinely don't. Have I read the Ouran High School Host Club manga? I own all the individual issues, and then when they released the box set, I bought 2 of the box set. So I've got one set of copies that are like my individual issues, just because they're like the individual issues ones, like they're serialized as the individual issues. Then I've got my box set that I like read and I take annotations on, and like I bookmark, and I like those are the books, and then I have the third one, which is my display set that I don't touch. It doesn't get moved. Yeah, I love Ouran so much. Which comic book writer would I love to work with? I'm not really sure why I would work with a writer. I would love to work with Bendis, Grant Morrison, Neil Gaiman, Alan Moore, you know, the British Invasion Brigade, basically. No, I'd love to work with Bendis on the American side, Gail Simone, like, so many different writers, but I'm not really sure why I would be working with a comic writer. I'm not an artist, I'm a writer as well, so I guess, like, if they were, like, co-writing a show with me, like, because, you know, primarily I am a showrunner, I create TV show pilots. I'm actually creating a TV show pilot for YouTube that I intend to kickstart towards the tail end of next year. It's a show that I've created a pilot for twice now for TV, and it was rejected twice, and I still own the rights to the show itself, but don't own the rights to the pilots, so that's a complicated situation, but I can't show any footage from the pilots, or mention the networks that it was rejected by, which sucks. Because that will be like just a really good like stamp to be like, I have made pilots for these networks, but can't do that. So what I can say is I've got a good cast in mind. I'm not going to hold auditions. I'm just going to like precast it, and it's a very, very nice concept. And the pilot I'm making is only 9 minutes, but I intend for each episode to be 30 minutes. So I would make a longer pilot, but because I'm self-funding it now, I have to basically sort of reformat the series slightly to work for YouTube. It's expensive. Are the actors people you know then? Yes, the actors that I have in mind are close friends. Or friends of mine. Can't say close friends. One of them's a close friend. Yeah. Will you make a video comparing the Aquaman movie to the comic books? No. I... It's not that I didn't enjoy the Aquaman movie. I liked it, but I think it deserves that 70%. I would even take it down to a 65%. It's above halfway. But I can't say, this is groundbreaking, this is brilliant, this is anything special. And so I don't really want to linger on it. I just want to, like, be like, that came out, cool, DC took a step in the right direction. Do better. Because this still isn't good. It's just better. You know? Any tea to spill in the beauty community or just drama you want to tell? I'm not involved with the beauty community whatsoever. I made a few makeup videos, but no beauty gurus follow me. I would die if Jackie Aina followed me, though. Like, I love Jackie Aina. Jackie Aina, Miles J, those are the ones. I watch a lot of, like, black beauty gurus, because I always feel like, black beauty gurus, because, like, they have such a hard time in the beauty industry, they're willing to be much harsher on the beauty industry. I don't know, I think there's a level of honesty there that you just don't get from others. That's what I'll say. What comic book series would you like to see adapted, or series you would like to adapt? So what's interesting about my style as a showrunner is that I create the shows and I star in them, or at least play a leading part. I was very inspired by Charlie Chaplin, who did that with his films, and I was like, well, obviously I'm going to do that. So I would like to adapt Seven Soldiers Clarion. I have such a clear vision for it. And I would play Clarion in that. Like, I have such a clear vision for how Seven Soldiers of Victory as a whole, I would adapt. Like, I could adapt that. Like, I have such a clear vision on how I would do it. Been researching it so heavily for my Seven Soldiers series. I'm like, I know how I would make this into a TV show. Oh my god, DC give me the chance. And I would definitely cast myself as Clarion. So in My Hero Academia, what are your top 5 characters? Number 1 is Bakugo, because I simultaneously want to be him and be with him. Number 2 is Deku, because he is a small boy that needs protection at all costs. Number 3 is Uraraka, because you sound like you're having a stroke whenever you say her name, and isn't she amazing, and I love her so much. Number 4 is Aizawa, because me. And number 5 is, number 5. Oh, is it? Okay, I'm gonna say Todoroki. But it's a toss-up between Todoroki and, I'm really bad with names, Creation Girl. You know, she makes the Russian dolls from her body. Yeah. Any things that have caught your eyes this year, like movies, music, books, etc. Yes, very recently there was this video game. It's out on Nintendo Switch and it's on PC. It's called Gris, Gris. It's this, like, really moving video game. It's really quite peaceful. Yeah, I definitely recommend checking it out if you have any time. Yeah, Gris, check it out. It's a relaxing game that deals with sort of the theme of loss, but it's a 2D side-scrolling exploration game. There's no life, there's no health bar, there's no experience. It's very good. It's very unique. Yeah. If you could have any actors work on anything, who would they be? Can I bring David Bowie back from the dead to play old me? Because I've played young him twice now. Wouldn't that be great? Like, I played young David Bowie, so David Bowie plays old me. Periodic statement saying, please don't ask me about Runaways Season 2, because I've already spoken about it a lot. Any meetups in London? No plans for specific meetups, but if you see me at a convention in London, come and say hi. I'll normally, on my Instagram, I'll just be like, in my story, hey, I'm around here for the next 20 to 30 minutes or so, and just come and find me. It's chill. Do I like horror games? I do love horror games. Yeah. That feels like a weird thing. But my favorite game, sort of, on the my favorite game on the PS4 is probably Bloodborne. Does that count as a horror game? Definitely counts as like a Castlevania style game. Like, I would say Bloodborne is the natural evolution of Castlevania. Like, I would say Bloodborne has more in common with Castlevania than it does with Dark Souls. Even though it has a lot in common with Dark Souls. I'm not saying it's, like, completely different with Dark Souls, but it's definitely, like, very Castlevania inspired. I miss your hair coloring vlogs. I never did hair coloring vlogs. I did a vlog where I colored my hair in it, but I never did multiple. Okay, guys, we've got 20 more minutes. But I am tired. I spent the entire day with my nieces. My nieces are so, like, they're getting to that point where they're kids, they're not toddlers, and they were playing with iPads. What? My nieces are not toddlers anymore, they're kids. They were playing with iPads, they were finding videos on YouTube that they liked. There was like this one about a woman throwing M&Ms off a building that they were really into. They really liked this M&Ms lady. I wanted to end the M&Ms lady. She was saying M&Ms so much. But, like, my nieces were into her. So. Princess Jellyfish. Love the show. Thoughts? I've never watched it. But I like the art. I like the artwork. I like the art direction. But I've never properly watched it. Skincare routine. So for the morning, I use the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream with the Olay Regenerist Serum, followed by the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream Eye Cream. Then for nighttime, I use the Glam Glow Dream Duo, the IT Cosmetics Confidence in a Cream Eye Cream, and then the Glam Glow Hydro Mask on top of that. And then for face wash and stuff, I use the Olay Anti-Wrinkle Daily Face Wash, the purple one. Makeup remover, I just use like this Garnier makeup remover. It gets everything off just fine. And my skin's improved a lot since I had this routine. Like, my skin's gotten very good. Because the creams I use are very expensive. So, would I like to play Finn in a live-action adaptation of Adventure Time if possible? Sure! I'd love that. Could I sing Time Adventure? Because that's my favourite song. Do I still watch Steven Universe? I haven't watched the most recent episode. I didn't even realise it came out. I didn't realise there was an episode yesterday, but I'm at that point with Steven Universe where I'm interested to see how it ends. Because I want to see how it ends. But I'm not interested to see where it goes. I want to see it end. Actively. And that's never a good place to be at. And I know where I have problems with it. I don't like how forgiving the show has been to the Diamonds. You know, hey, Nazis committed mass genocide, let's forgive them. No, I don't like that. And to be fair, maybe they like explore that in the latest episode, but for me right now, I'm just like, oh, I can't. I can't. Robin's butt or pecs? See, here's the thing. Tim Drake is who I want to be, so whenever I imagine Tim Drake, I imagine him with his body, him with my body. And I have pretty good butt and pecs, like my chest and my butt, the two parts of me that grow the fastest. If you don't believe me, check out my Instagram story right now. There is an amazing picture of my butt. Like, a really good one. Well, no, that's an exaggeration. It's a pretty good butt picture, but it's not, like, amazing. I feel like I should be screenshotting all of these Runaways questions so I can do a compilation on Twitter or something. Anyway, yeah. So Robin's butt or pecs, I will just translate as, what do you prefer, my own butt or pecs? I think my butt is better than my pecs at the moment, but I'm working at getting Captain America level tits. If something supernatural happened, would you hide and investigate, or expose it? Unholy nerd, you're talking to a witch. Like... What are your thoughts on the new show She-Ra? I haven't watched it yet. I probably should. Apparently it's very gay. The art style interested me at first because it was clearly Utena inspired, and then it wasn't Utena inspired when I saw it like in motion, and so now I'm just like, you know? Do you find vampires sexy? Just asking. I find intentionally sexy vampires sexy because, you know, that's the point. Obviously they've got their whole blood-sucking thing going on. Could be a problem. Might not be. Depends how they sell it to me, to be honest. Would you like to see another season of Magical Girl Raising Project? Absolutely. I've read the light novels and they get really good. Or have Killing Stalking be adapted into live action? I don't want a live action Killing Stalking at all. Like, at all, at all. I think it's good how it is. It doesn't need to be adapted. At all. I don't think you could do anything in live action that the comic hasn't done. Yeah, it would just kind of be like a needless effort. It would be like, this is my problem, like so many people are like, oh, would you like to see this adapted into live action? It's like, why? Because you think live action is better, then why are you reading the comic? So, have I seen Bird Box? I don't know what that is. Have I watched Hilda? That name sounds very familiar. But no. But that name sounds very familiar. Who else watched the new Ellen DeGeneres stand-up special? I loved that. It reminded me of her first stand-up special. Well, I don't know if it was her first one. An early stand-up special she did. Ellen DeGeneres Here and Now. Like, I was so scared her stand-up wouldn't be as good as it was, and it's so good. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. It's called Ellen DeGeneres Relatable, and it's on Netflix. Like, going back to this button peg situation, it's like, I'm gonna, like, just talk about this just to get you guys' input a bit. So, like, if you don't know this, because I know lots of you are new to my channel, I work as a qualified personal, worked as a qualified personal trainer. I am a level 3 personal trainer here in the UK. I also do sports massage. I was qualified in sports massage. I don't enjoy doing it because I don't like human contact. I'm not a touchy-feely kind of person. I'm like, don't hug me, don't touch me. Thanks. But I'm qualified in sports massage. So yeah, I'm for the longest time I've been considering maybe I'll get a part-time job as a personal trainer just to like help finance myself so I can move out. But I have been thinking if I get a job as a part-time personal trainer, that means I'll be working in a gym, which means I'll have very easy access to film videos in a gym. And I was thinking, what if I did like some exercise tutorials for comic book characters? Because I almost did that a few years ago in the series that I was doing called Becoming Robin, which was more of a fitness diary where I was exploring fitness and working out for the first time. I'm qualified now, and so like that sort of cuts me off from doing that. Because I know everything that I have to do. I know how to change my body in quite a short amount of time. I understand supplements. I'm not a qualified nutritionist, because to be a qualified nutritionist you have to go to university, and I haven't gone to university for nutrition. But I have done a nutrition course, so I understand nutrition, if that makes any sense. I have a qualification in nutrition, not a degree. There's the difference. So I'm just sort of like, maybe I should do sort of fitness superhero videos? What do you guys think? Opinions on Gert Yorks. I think I really like Gert because she's probably the character that I'm most like in Runaways, in her short temper, sarcastic nature, kind of general saltiness. Yeah. Did I get anything for Christmas? If so, what? I got a book. It's a university level book called Spandex Simplified, Sewing for Figure Skating. And it is the book that they use on the costume set of all the superhero movies. So basically, they look at this book and use it to try and figure out how are we going to make a superhero costume. Because superhero costumes actually follow the same principle as figure skating costumes. And so I got it to try and help me with some of my cosplays for next year. Okay, you guys seem down for that. I'll keep it in mind. I probably won't start working as a personal trainer until late March. Favorite anime this year? Season 2, 3 of My Hero Academia. Season 4 is not coming Season 4 is not coming out till October. And I know like once October's here, I'm gonna be like, it's been 84 years. So favorite LGBTQ characters in any media. I really like Marshall from the United States of Tara. He was like quite an important character for me to see. Obviously, there's Wiccan and Hulkling, Nico and Carolina, and Nico and Carolina. I like both versions of them. Yeah, I like quite a lot. Oh, and Batwoman, duh. Did I watch Titans? I did. What's your favorite episode? My favorite episode is the final episode, the final second, where it ended. I hated Titans. I was like, maybe it'll get better, maybe it'll get better, please get better, please get better, and then it was like, and everyone else is like, oh, Titans is really good, it's the best TV show, and I'm like, are we watching the same thing? Because I'm convinced I was watching something else with the exact same characters. Have I seen Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai? No, but I've seen Gigiok's video on it. Hey, Sheena Stubbs. Could you do a K-beauty style makeup look if possible? Sure. You can actually watch that right now. Go to youtube.com/Edward Avila. There'll be a boy there called Edward Avila talking. Pretend he's me. And there you go. He might have silver hair. I haven't watched him in a while. This may be a weird question, but what kind of music do you like? I like lots of music. I am a trained singer. I guess a lot of you don't know this because I've gained a lot of subscribers recently. I went to a performing arts school from the age of 11 right through till I was 18. Yeah, and I almost went to performing arts. Well, I did 1 year at Performing Arts University. So, and I was a singer. I did musical theatre professionally as a teenager. As a result, I have quite a broad interest in music. So let's see, what have I added to my iPhone recently? Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is probably my favourite TV show, full stop. Crazy Ex-Girlfriend is brilliant. They're on their final season, so I've been adding all of the music from the final season as it goes. So a lot of this is just Crazy Ex-Girlfriend music. I really like The Logical Song by Supertramp. I've been listening to a lot of Anastasia because, like I said earlier in the stream, Anastasia is Dazzler. Collection, or Call Me by 90s Flav. Yeah. Call Me by 90s Flav, that's quite a good song. Tarts by Erutan is a really good song. I Feel Love from Riverdale is probably my favourite song in Riverdale. Yowamushi Mont Blanc by Deco27 I really love, as well as Tokyo Girl by Perfume, Mariella by Kate Nash, great song. I'm just going to do this very, very quickly. Let's name one more song. Make Believe by Caro Caro Bonito. I really like that. Cool. Your favourite cosplay that I've done? Probably Cat Noir, because it's a skin tight bodysuit. Could I do a video on Riverdale? That was my intention. I binged watched Riverdale, and I was gonna make a video that was so I watched Riverdale, and then I realized it was still going. I thought it was done. But then I was oh wait, it's midway through a season. So once this next season is over, I'm gonna be so I watched all of Riverdale. I love how it is the most consistently inconsistent show on TV, and it's objectively a terrible show, but you can't stop watching. Riverdale is objectively terrible. None of the kids look like kids. They look adult and act like adults, and I love it. Did I try the Dramatical Murder video game? I did a lot. Faust, is this stream going to be on the channel? Because the last 2 streams you did aren't, and I missed the chance to watch them. It's going to be unlisted, and it will be available to patrons, but not to everyone. Thoughts on the new Baki the Grappler anime? I haven't seen it. I keep meaning to. It's one of those anime that keeps going me in my peripheral, but I'm just haven't clicked on it yet. I will eventually. Am I reading the new Uncanny X-Men book? If so, what are your thoughts on it? I think I have a lot of problems with the costume designs, and I'm getting past that mountain still. Do I find Archie attractive from Riverdale? Because I do. Him and Jughead are my hardcore ship. Would it be narcissistic to say yes? Because I posted a picture of him to Facebook that was oh, I'm gonna cosplay Archie from Riverdale. And a lot of my friends were oh, I thought this was you. So I'm like, oh, okay. Guess I can't find him attractive because it would be narcissistic, but secretly yes, because I am a raging narcissist. How did you get your hair so white? I want white hair. My hair is very strong because it's naturally very curly. You know, like the movie Brave. That's how my hair is naturally. Um, and because of that, it's very very strong. So I was able to bleach it up quite a lot and retain a lot of strength. Favorite episodes of season 3 of My Hero Academia. I'm in the middle of rewatching it right now, but so far it is the episode where Deku beats Muscular. I think that's what it was called, Muscular. Have I finished the Judar? Oh, Judal. No. No, everything that I did for that cosplay was in that video. Any K-pop favorites? I'm actually really not into K-pop anymore. I used to be like hardcore into it, but then 2NE1 split up, and then I split up with K-pop. So 2NE1 is like everything for me. Like I'm old school K-pop. I feel weird saying that I'm old school K-pop now because back when I was into K-pop, I was current K-pop, and other people would be like, "I'm old school K-pop. I'm better than you," and I'd be like, "Fuck off." And now I'm that person that's like, "I'm old school K-pop," but like, technically I am old school K-pop now. Like my first K-pop song was "Lollipop" by Big Bang and 2NE1, and to this day I love 2NE1. They were like my reason for being involved with K-pop. And if they're not around, I'm not interested in keeping them going. That being said, I will still listen to Orange Caramel. Yeah. When is the new Young Justice book going to be available? I believe from January. I saw somewhere March, but I think it's January. How long did it take for your hair to stop being green? Okay, this is reference to a tweet that I posted out the other day. It only took an hour and a half. Basically, there's this, if my hair goes wrong, there's this stuff by this company called Joe Baz. This stuff only exists within the UK. I love this stuff. It forces artificial color molecules down to such a small size that they can't hold on to your hair. And then when you wash your hair, all of the artificial dye just comes out. Basically what happened was I used this silver toner that I ordered online from a reputable brand from their website. Apparently there was a callback that they've like compensated me. They're like, I've sent back the dye to them because apparently there was an issue with their pigment. This was a few days before Christmas as well, so I was obviously really panicking. But yeah, and I used the dye, and my hair, it was supposed to go silver, because my hair is like white at the moment, I want silver hair, and it went bright green. Like, snot girl green. And I was like, oh, this is nice, surprisingly, but it's not what I want. And especially because I'm playing Lucius Malfoy, a young Lucius Malfoy in a film at the moment, I'm like, I can't have green hair. I need to stay in the blonde region. So we were like, cool. So I was like, what can I do? And I just used this Joe Baz stuff, and within an hour and a half, my hair was back to white. Thoughts on smut or fanfiction? I've never been into fanfiction. I just can't get into it. Yeah. If it's not canon, I'm not interested. Which feels weird for me to say as a cosplayer, because obviously a lot of cosplay just isn't canon. We're not recreating scenes from the show. But for when it comes to fanfiction, I'm just like, I just can't get into it. Do I think Marvel should do more with the vampires? Ooh, wait until my Runaway Season 2 review. I have a bit of a rant about vampires and that. Do I need to read the previous Young Justice books to understand the new one? No, you don't! And that's the great thing. You don't. Merry Christmas, sir. I've been a fan of yours for years. Keep up the good work. Thank you, Big Smoking Joe. We have 2 minutes, guys, because I want to go and spend the tail end of the holidays with my family. So, 2 minutes. I'm really thirsty. What time is it? It is 11:30 at night. Let's see if Instagram's got any questions, because the chat's been acting a bit funny. So, if they made a show about Wiccan, would I still want to play him? Absolutely, yes. Guys, just quickly, follow me on Instagram. I'm at RBMFaust on Instagram. Follow me on there, like, basically every day. I do, like, a Q&A on my story. So, yeah. Feel free to follow me on there. No new questions, but, if we can just appreciate my butt, that would be great. Do I celebrate Christmas as the pagans would? Yeah, basically. Which is... have I answered the question I thought on the Avengers Endgame? I haven't answered any questions on it, but I don't have any thoughts because I don't watch trailers. So I'm like... If you are in the My Hero Academia universe, what would be your quirk? Reality manipulation. 100% reality manipulation. That would be my quirk. It's kind of like my quirk in real life anyway, but yeah. Do I have a favorite holiday cocktail? I don't drink. Last time I drank, So I don't black out when I drink, but I get gaps in my memory. Like little holes, as if someone's punched holes. And I find that a little bit off-putting. Like, I think, you know, one thing that I want to keep hold of is memories. Just holes in them, it's just not fun. After your new role as Malfoy, any new hair plans? I'm thinking about just, like, cutting it short. I've liked having it long, but, like, I'm really, like, just like, short on the sides, keep the length on the top. I don't know, I kind of feel like long hair doesn't really do much for my face shape. So I'm like, oof. And also, like, the worst part about having long hair is, this is hashtag relatable, but when you go to do squats, because my ponytail, when I work out, is now so long, my ponytail stays underneath the squatting bar, so I'll, like, lift it up, and then my head is being pulled back slightly, and it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's, like, not comfortable. Dream job. I would like, well, kind of do my dream job. I would just like to be paid more for it. I want to create and star in my own TV shows and movies. And I want to be able to, like, say, I want these people in it. And these people for this role. Like, I want that kind of, like, edge. What are my thoughts on the American Gods TV show? I didn't talk about it because I just kind of go with the general consensus that it's pretty good. Did I see the Titans final episode? Yes, I did, and I was so happy when it ended. Thank God. Can't you wear a beanie when you work out? I don't like wearing beanies. My hair's too thick. They just, like, pop off. My hair is really thick. I don't think you guys quite realize how thick this is. I can't wear hats because my hair just springs out to the sides, and yeah, I can't do it. We've got 5 more minutes. I'm going to extend this by 5 minutes because then elapsed time will be at 1 hour and 30 minutes, and it will be satisfying. But yeah, my hair is super thick. I can't really do hats, can't really do anything in that sort of realm. Can I give you a bit of a synopsis about your show? What I can say is that the show I'm currently working on that will come to YouTube towards the end of 2019, or it will be kickstarted on YouTube towards the end of 2019. It is a supernatural slice of life comedy. That's all I can say. My favorite movie of all time. Ooh, that's a difficult one. I really love Howl's Moving Castle. Like, I love Howl's Moving Castle. I love how that movie makes me feel. I love the messages in it. I really liked Your Name. Kiki's Delivery Service is up there as well. Lots of anime movies. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm a bit of a weeb. Let's think live action. Does Eddie Izzard stand-up specials count? If so, like, seeing Eddie Izzard Dressed to Kill and Eddie Izzard Definite Article were, like, pivotal moments for me. Um, like, just as a human, Eddie Izzard's existence is very important to me. Yeah. Favorite comic show adaptation? Runaways. I think Runaways is has problems. I get into this, but I feel like Runaways doesn't embrace its source material enough, but it embraces its source material a damn sight better than any other comic book TV show. I have problems with like the use of trying to turn the stuff into technology rather than magic. But then in season 2, they totally drop that technology subplot and it seems to just be magic, and I quite like that. Apart from slime, what would you want to be reincarnated as? Um, I'm not sure, like, I can be reincarnated. Like, how does one become reincarnated when they're already a living goddess? How have I been? I've been doing better, Nerdy Philosopher. Thank you for asking. Nerdy Philosopher, you seem like the kind of person that would probably watch Philosophy Tube and ContraPoints. And I also watch Philosophy Tube and ContraPoints. In fact, I've got a new lighting setup, and I won't lie, it's very inspired by Philosophy Tube and ContraPoints. I think by taking like inspiration from other YouTubers, I'm finally coming to my own in terms of how my channel looks visually. Yeah. Mr. Crispin says ho ho ho. Thank you, Mr. Crispins, for the £5. The thoughts on toxic masculinity. I think toxic masculinity is a problem, and I think it is probably the leading cause of male suicide. Um, Obviously, masculinity in itself isn't toxic, but I don't associate masculinity with men and femininity with women. I think everyone can be masculine and feminine, because obviously there are masculine and feminine energies, and we can all have these energies, and when these energies are not in balance within ourselves, that's when it creates issues such as illness and mental health problems and even just like physical problems within ourselves. So it's just like, you know, it's important to balance these energies, and masculine and toxic masculinity forces the feminine energy to suppress itself, when really we need to embrace both sides and encourage people to embrace both sides. And that was a secret Kabbalah lesson with Faust. If I could date any comic book character, who would it be? Probably Superboy. Superboy or... See, I need someone to balance me, because I'm like quite, I'm quite an impulsive person. I have quite a short temper. I need someone with a level head. I need someone... So maybe Superboy would be very bad for me, actually. I don't know. I don't know that there is a comic character that would be good for me, particularly. Okay, one more question. Tim Drake? No, Tim Drake would be very bad for me, because I want to be like him. I need someone that is level-headed that I don't actively want to be like. Can't date yourself and you can't date role models. Okay, everyone. That's where we're going to end this, with that little lesson. Can't date yourself and you can't date your role models. So thank you for coming in and watching, and enjoy your holidays, whatever it is that you celebrate. And again, if it's just a Tuesday for you, enjoy your Tuesday. In fact, make it a Tuesday and choose your own destiny. But I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna maybe have cakes. And oh, Nightwing. Yes, I would date Nightwing purely for the butt. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for bearing with my little issue at the beginning with my connection. Or it wasn't a connection issue. It was OBS. Like I had to go into advanced settings and change it. It was a whole thing. But I'm gonna go now and enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Bye! Be kind to one another as well.